everybody, I'm Monty Mont.
Shinobi here.
Hey, it's your boy Q.
And the MCU Phase 4. We're worried about it. Say it like that. A little worried about it. Seen some of it, maybe not seen all of it, but we're a little worried about it. Guys, we're back. Back once again, we seen the crew, and we have to convene kind of Avengers style and talk about the state of the MCU, specifically Phase 4. Now, if you might not understand or remember what exactly is Phase 4, let me quickly run through what we've already seen or is currently airing in the fourth phase, which started there pretty much from 2021. So, you know, we had the Black Widow movie, we had Shang-Chi, we had Eternals, we had Spider-Man No Way Home, we've had Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Thor Love and Thunder is on the way. Is it tomorrow?
No, it already came out.
Is it already out? Yeah, it's out. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Seems like something I'm looking for tomorrow. And so those are for movies. TV wise, we've had WandaVision, What If, Moon Knight, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye. Currently, Miss Marvel is on right now. So if you're trying to be current, you can go right now, currently to catch Thor, and currently in the middle of Miss Marvel. They've still got some things to come very quickly. We still need Black Panther 2. We have Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We've got Blade. We've got Quantumania. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp. We have to find Fantastic Four movie, possibly. Let me see if I'm missing anything on that. Supposed to have a Captain Marvel 2. And for TV, She-Hulk still, possibly. Ironheart, Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe. Secret Invasion, a couple of things there they still have as well. So we bring all this up and we feel the need to talk because it's transitional phase. They're trying to do some things. We're seeing more TV projects, of course, with the streaming content and the streaming wars. That's to be expected. More movies, but I don't know if we're worn out from it, if we're kind of blasé about it. I don't know. Johnny Q, I'm going to start with you. Just when I say the state of the MCU Phase 4. Now, guys, we're not talking about early MCU. We're not talking about the Avengers. I'm talking about what I just stated. What do you feel about the state of the MCU right now?
I feel like it's like Phase 1, basically. And you got to take that with a grain of salt. Basically, what I'm saying is from Phase 1 to 3, it took 11 years to create all of that content, right? So everyone's like, why isn't Phase 4 connected yet? It's like, you have to just be patient, you know? Like, it might take another 11 years to get that another Infinity Saga, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta figure out another big bag. We gotta start introducing brand new characters. I mean, we might have the new Avengers, right? I mean, everyone's getting replaced. So I think Phase 4 is just trying to start from the beginning again, basically. Now, do I agree with everything that's coming out in Phase 4? Absolutely not. But I feel like they're just trying to start over.
So you would preach maybe a little patience, not panic.
Yes,
patience.
I would preach patience.
That's fair. Shinobi, we appreciate the headgear, sir. Your thoughts on the state of the MCU Phase 4?
I would say that Phase 4 is in it's auteur phase, is what I call it. If you know what an auteur film is, it's when a director is putting more of the director in the movie than plot and or substance, which is interesting enough was a complaint about a lot of MCU movies before Phase 4, that all the movies look the same, they're not colorful, they're not vibrant. And then I think right after the cusp of Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor Love and Thunder, but Thor Ragnarok, right? We got Taika Waititi, we got James Gunn. We started seeing, this is what happens when you inject a little directorial flavor into an MCU film. It's transformative, it's different. We want more of that. I think we're getting more of that, and I think it's a mixed bag in terms of fan expectation, because we're getting a lot of directors with all of their quirks and their storytelling that sometimes outweighs the familiarity, you know, with what we expect from a regular Marvel movie. I think that's why some people, the complaints are so divided as of right now. It kind of directorial vision, comic book accuracy, overall fan enjoyment. It's kind of all over the place. Is what I would argue. I would say
That's a good point as well. I like what both of you said. I think too, just from where we are now, entertainment wise, again, they're doing a gang of TV, and TV is different. TV is not a 2-hour movie and you're done and you wait 2 or 3 more years. They're doing 6, 8, 10 episode shows, which is a lot of content, a lot of story. But that is competing with, there's so many other shows out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even, if you're not even into, you know what I'm saying, MCU stuff, there's just a lot to compete with. And, now I'll put No Way Home aside, which was, of course, kind of a phenomenon thing in of itself. Even the movies, I think people want that, that first Iron Man feel, or they want that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if, not even a fault of their own, it's just we've become inundated with so much. You can't really get that same feeling. Now they can. I like what Johnny Q said. Maybe we'll see a new Avengers emerge from this new class. I'm sure they're hoping that we will, which could happen, and generational stuff goes by. And as I also like what Shinobi said with giving these directors, see, the thing is, 20 years ago, the studios would be kind of looking more, nitpicking more. What are you doing? Who's that? I don't know. But now, because they need so much content, they're just letting these guys go. Give us your vision. Here's some money. We need the content more than we're going to worry about your creativity. So you are getting different things. And I think we're kind of seeing that. It's just the MCU or Marvel itself has carried this heavy mantle so long. And now, we wonder if it's crushing under the weight. So let me ask then this. Of what you've seen so far, what have you been most impressed by, and what have you been most disappointed by? And it could be movie or TV show. What you've seen so far, real quick, Black Widow and Spider-Man, and I don't know if you've seen I haven't seen Thor and Love and Thunder yet. WandaVision, Loki, What If, whatever of those that you've seen from the Phase 4, what have you been most impressed with? And what have you been most disappointed by? Shinobi, I will start with you.
All right. What I've been most impressed with this Phase 4, off of my sheer enjoyment from start to finish has been Shang-Chi. I would say there was a consistent level of excitement from the beginning of that movie for me. And if you've seen the opening fight scene, I'm like, okay, this is all right. This is what I'm here for. And then it kept that consistency throughout the entire film for me. I'm like, okay, this is a reference to your classic, Project Tiger, Hidden Dragon, wire work kind of old school kung fu movies with a Marvel budget. It's got a lot of the actors from a lot of that old school Hong Kong pantheon of kung fu movies. It was in the world of a Marvel movie with Marvel special effects. You don't have to explain how magic kung fu works because it's the MCU. It was one I could turn my brain off and fully enjoy it from the beginning to end. So I think I had the most fun with that movie so far. What I've been, I would say, disappointed by, I would have to say, and this could just be a victim of the hype, was Multiverse of Madness. I think disappointed me probably the hardest. Just because what I was expecting and then what we got couldn't have been further from what I went in for. I went in for, I don't know, to be honest with you. I thought this was going to be a, I don't know, space-time adventure. The movie blew my mind for 5 minutes and then spent 10 minutes dismantling that entirely, which it's funny, but it's just dang, they gave me everything I wanted for 5 minutes and then spent 10 minutes dismantling that. So I would say Shang-Chi has been a highlight for me. And then what's been the most disappointing so far has been Multiverse of Madness. That's what I'd say. Putting No Way Home, the phenomenon aside. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
That's fair. Johnny Q.
Okay, so technically this has to do with No Way Home, but technically it doesn't. So Loki is the villain I'm most impressed with. That show, I think I'm pretty sure it's the best Marvel show so far, if I'm not mistaken, on Rotten Tomatoes. Um, it just explains the timeline so well, the sacred timeline so well, and not only that, it opens your mind to so many theories that you could have of yourself, right? Because all the sorcerers from the Doctor Strange franchise, they all pull their powers from the multiverse. So it makes you think that, oh wait, like the TVA are bound to fail like they did in the last few episodes of Loki, right? So it opens your mind to so much. You have so many theories. You want to insert your own things because they give you that. They give you just enough of what you need to complete it for it to make complete and utter sense. But also they just give you just enough to the point where you're like, well, maybe this is gonna happen, maybe that's gonna happen. Well, this has to happen. Well, this has to happen. And they're still playing by their own rules, right? And that's what's one thing I definitely do love about the MCU and as a whole. You don't see too much of them breaking their own rules, right? Because other franchises will do that. They'll set a certain bound, they'll set a certain thing that they can and cannot happen, but then it ends up happening or not happening, which I mean, you take away from your own magic, right? Because you still have to have some type of structure. So when you're breaking it, it's like, why am I giving you anything if you're not going to give me what you were supposed to, right? That's why I truly do love Loki because it was just so well formatted, so well done. The thing I'm most disappointed by, and this is going to actually be crazy because this hasn't even come out yet, it's probably She-Hulk because I looked it up. That the budget for each episode is $25 million, and they have nine. They're going for 9 episodes. That's $225 million for one whole season, and they can't even get the CG right. I mean, she looks like Fiona, man. Like, what's happening out here?
Oh, really?
I mean,
Wow.
no, if you really slow down that, it's so bad, and I just like I can't. Shout out to the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, directed by the Russo brothers. We love them. We miss them. We wish they would come back to MCU. That entire movie was just 25 million, and the CGI in that was spectacular. So how are we spending 225 million and can't get this right? And I don't even necessarily like the direction they're going in, right? Because um Jen in the comics, she really didn't have trouble kind of going back and forth between figuring out whether she wanted to be a lawyer or She-Hulk, right? I mean, she ended up just making the decision. Oh, I mean, I'm She-Hulk. We gotta do what we gotta do, right? I mean, she still used her her lawyer degree for something in the comics, but for them to be like, she doesn't know what she wants to do, she doesn't know how she wants to do it. And then the whole confusion of, is Bruce Professor Hulk or is he not? Because like in Shang-Chi, we see that he's himself, right? With the torn up arm after trying to snap, right? But then in She-Hulk, he's the Hulk, he's Professor Hulk. So which is it? Like they're going back and forth, and I can't keep up. And I mean, that's why I was like, it's kind of biased because it's not even out yet. It might be spectacular. But as of right now, I cannot give it any of my offerings because it's just too messy right now.
You're disappointed. You're disappointed with it even before it's out. But now but see, you bring up a good point. Is that they have to now juggle movie stuff with TV stuff. That's a very good point, though. You know, what Hulk are we getting? A lot of y'all know the Hulk is my guy. I'm going to be looking at that very carefully because, yeah, you know, are we having continuity? Are we going back? What y'all got to explain that? You know, I would say for me, I'm actually going to agree with Johnny Q. I felt Loki was just outstanding. And the thing is, I was a big WandaVision fan, so I was a little biased against it. Like, I thought WandaVision, I loved them taking a chance on it, but then Loki just hit it out the park. I'm going to give I'm going to give some consideration too. I really enjoyed Black Widow. Florence Pugh, come by anytime. You are welcome anytime on this show. I love her. I was really surprised. I kind of went in with low expectations. Was very surprised. By far, if anybody checked out me and B Squared at all, Moon Knight, just, you're dead to me. I don't know what we were doing. I've had some people try to have some, no, you had to look deeper into just,
really?
No, stop it. Stop. Don't defend it to me. It's just,
you're not rock with Moon Knight? Interesting.
Not at all.
They had so much they could have done for me with that. Like, I was open book, teach me the ways, and it just, like I said, it was a season 2 show for an origin story that we needed because we don't know nothing of. it would have been great for season 2, but you can't take us and we don't know nothing about this guy. See, don't get me started because I'm gonna get upset again.
B loves that show.
He liked it. He had frustration with me. He liked it more than me, but he had frustration too because again, it would just be nice to see Moon Knight in a show called Moon Knight. Maybe I'm nitpicking. I don't know. But anyway, that's my list. That's my list there. Okay, so moving forward then. I'm going to say this. I'm going to put you guys in a little spot. I'll start. If you were the head of Marvel right now, you're the head of Marvel. First question, how do you feel right now? And what is your plan going forward to ensure that you proverbially stay on top? I know some people argue, who's on top, blah, 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 blah. You know, again, we'll give, you know, we're going to give the Batman his props. DC, we see you. Great. I enjoy the movie, but let's just relax. I'll start. If I'm the head of Marvel right now, if you give me the mantle, if I come in today, I'm running the whole show. Again, I'm not in any panic mode. You know, I understand it's a transition. You know, there's transition moments there. I'm feeling good. I still got some heavy hitters. We're going to see, you know, box office, Thor: Love and Thunder looks like it's doing well. I mean, we got some, you know, some Guardians buzz, some things that I'm fine with. You know, Ant-Man, let's go. You know, carry us. We really feeling good with that. But what I would be doing, I mean, Black Panther is a whole other one. There people. But what if I was heading up the studio? What I would be looking to do is like a person I just mentioned, like a Florence Pugh. I'm looking for some headline talent that in any capacity, a TV talent for movies, a movie talent for TVs. I mean, we need, because again, they pulled the Robert Downey Jr.'s, they pulled some of these big names to begin with, and they put it on their shoulders. Now I'm looking for any talent, and then I don't care, you know, if we see, you know what I mean, you know, She-Hulk or whoever in another franchise just to help care, fine, because now we need that star power. Not so much the name on the front, I'm looking for names on the back to help carry it, and let's just bank on that. That's me. I'll start Johnny Q. If you're running Marvel, how do you feel right now, and what is some of your strategy moving forward?
Okay, so if I'm running Marvel today, I feel like we could have done better. I feel like we could have pulled back some more. We could have gave a little more, but I think moving forward.
So wait, real quick, when you say feel doing better, like in terms of just the content or how you?
Okay, so specifically, I'm not gonna talk about it too much because you haven't seen it. But for Thor: Love and Thunder, the best way I can put it is there's a meme online right now saying that. You remember that scene between Tony and Peter talking about I just wanted to be you and he wanted him to be better? They literally put Ragnarok on Tony's face and Love and Thunder on Peter's, and Ragnarok wanted Love and Thunder to be better, but it just simply wasn't, right? And that's all I'm gonna say about that. You can go see the movie. It's just I feel like that could have been we could have given a lot more. And I mean, we got to do a whole episode about that because I got a couple words. I got a couple things to say about that. I feel like I knew how to make that movie better, but I digress. We'll talk about that at a later time.
Okay.
But what I would be mainly focusing on is, and this might be a little curve, I would be mainly focusing on two things. First thing, I would want to focus on my my Wakanda Forever, because what Disney recently did with their Star Wars thing, they CGI'd a guy's face and his voice. I do not want them to do that for Chadwick Boseman. I do not want there to be a scene where it's 100%, because they did that for Philip Seymour Hoffman in Hunger Games too. I don't want a fully CGI'd Chadwick Boseman. He specifically said before he passed away, God rest his soul, that he did not want Black Panther to die with him. So I think he would be perfectly fine if we recast him. I'm not saying recast him, but I think he'd be okay with it, right? So his brother looks very similar to him. We've been him in the gym for 6 months. I think he could be the new T'Challa. Anyways, there's a way that we can get Wakanda Forever to be great, and I definitely don't want to see something like that. And I definitely want, if we're gonna do Wakanda Forever, let's get an origin story, right? I mean, we got that we got like maybe a scene of that in Black Panther, talking about how the Rock came down, smashed into Africa. Yeah, we got a scene of that, but like let's get a full and complete, like full prequel, just like well, I was gonna Black Widow wasn't really a prequel. It was a prequel, then it went on to a sequel. But Oh no, it was a prequel the whole way through because it was before Infinity War. So yeah,
Yeah.
well, let's get another prequel like that. I would definitely appreciate a prequel before, like, if we got young T'Challa. Oh my gosh, like we can get another kid on the spot, right? New actor, new face. That'd be great. We can do that. That'd be easy. Show T'Challa's upbringing. That's one thing I focus on. The second thing would be, as I would focus on my Ant-Man series, because you don't hear a lot of good things about Ant-Man, right? Now, Ant-Man 1, I've never heard anybody say, oh, it was so great, it was so phenomenal. But at the same time, I've never heard anybody say, I hated this movie, it was terrible. Why did we do it like this? Now, I've definitely heard people say that Ant-Man and the Wasp was so bad. And it was for too many reasons. There was too many jokes. We weren't focusing on the main storyline. It was just too much happening all at once, right? I would focus on making my third movie, Ant-Man and the Quantumanium. I would focus on that, on being the best, not just the best Ant-Man thing we've had, because that's a low bar. I would say one of the best things we put out there just in general. I mean, it was because of Scott Lang we were able to pull off the time heist, essentially, right? Tony never thought about doing time. Bruce couldn't nail it. So without Scott coming out of there and telling us, hey, this is possible, we would have never got that. We would have never gotten everyone back. So I feel like if we can strictly focus on that franchise alone, that could be just phenomenal. That is what I would do if I was running Marvel today.
Okay, fair. All right, Shinobi, your thoughts if you are running Marvel, what you feel about it right now, and your plans moving forward.
As you can see, I'm cosplaying as Kevin Feige right now, waiting for this, waiting for this question. All right, how I feel right now. Let's start with that. I think we've already built an empire, and now it is time for us to essentially divide and conquer. We have became the blueprint for how audiences have viewed superhero movies, from solo movies to these interconnected sagas. We are essentially the closest thing as Marvel Cinema, the closest thing to a comic book accurate saga plotline. We've somehow managed to pull it off. What we need to do now is corner the market, every market. What fans are expecting isn't necessarily what I think is going to make the most money. They want Endgame, they want another Infinity Saga, and what so far we've given them, especially in Phase 4, is a bunch of what, as of right now, seems like a bunch of random one-off stories. What I would start doing, if I was the head of Marvel, I would start forming all of the teams, right? All of the teams that make Marvel Marvel. Your Fantastic Four, you got your Avengers, Defenders, and most importantly, I think this is the headline, the X-Men. We own the X-Men now. It's in our playground. There, as of right now, there's a X-Men 97 is making it. They're rebooting the cartoon now, currently in production already. What Marvel does, and I was talking to an animation director not too long ago who worked on some of the Iron Man animations back in the day. He told me that what Marvel likes to do is they test run every concept and idea that they have in their animation work first, see what audiences are feeling like towards these characters, and then depending on whether that is positive or negative, they essentially use that into the MCU. Miss Marvel first appeared in some of the cartoons they've had, of course, X-Men. Miles Morales made his first debut, and obviously in animation, right? What I start doing now is taking all the things that are considered successes, and now we're going to be building all of these so seemingly disconnected things into, like, at the very least 4 connected things. Personally, if I was head of Marvel, I put Wakanda on ice. Personally, it's just me. I'm gonna put. Yeah, wow. I'm putting it on ice. There's too many logistical problems with these movies, and I see interest for this franchise dwindling by the day between conflicts, between COVID, scheduling conflicts, I've seen some not tests, like some teased photos of what potentially, a lot of it, it's a lot. Here's what I think Wakanda succeeded on, right? And I say Wakanda, not Black Panther. It was a world in the Marvel universe that almost had nothing to do with the rest of the Marvel universe, but things in it could branch out. I think that now that we have the X-Men, now that we have the rights to Fantastic Four, we can continue that same process of it's time to build the X-Men. It's time to build that foundation. And I'm confident that they're in some way, shape, or form building towards that right now. I would be putting all my eggs in this basket because this is an entire branch of Marvel fans who have been waiting, theorizing, and plotting. You don't even need to give them everything at once. Here's what I realized that Marvel does, and I'm sorry for going off tangent here. So far in like the 27 movies we've gotten, they like to give the audience a little bit of what they want, a lot of what they don't. By that I mean they will go as far as to give us an entire character, but tweak their origin so small. But that little small thing changes everything. It's like, why would you do this in the first place? It's as if, yeah, we got Spider-Man, but instead of him being bitten by a spider, we're just gonna turn him into a mutant. And then here's what you have. You'll have an entire community split on this cinematic decision. I'd also, if I had my team, right, I had a team of producers and whatever, I'd acknowledge we're trying to make a lot of these superhero movies happen without the comic origins being acknowledged because they just haven't been in the MCU yet. It's hard to have Miss Marvel without introducing the Inhumans properly. It's hard to have a Captain America story functional if you don't have, like other stuff that happened in World War II. We're trying to make the Fantastic Four work, but the backs of building not even built yet. So it's kind of this puzzle, but we've kind of worked our way out this puzzle with our multiverse scapegoat, which everybody and their mom is using now. Yep. We can pull these characters out of thin air. We don't even have to explain anymore how it worked. The entire point of the X-Men was that we could pull characters out of thin air and not have to explain radioactive this, cosmic that, whatever. So to clear all up, I put all my eggs in the X-Men basket right now. I think that what our She-Hulks, what our Shang-Chi's, we put these people on a team, we build that to a team. So at the very least, when you watch these one-off shows, you can see there's a hint of a thread, another hint of a thread, another hint of a thread. So by the time we hit like 2030, we've got something better than we had before, but a little different, but maybe just as good. And now we're cornering the market with other demographics that may or may not have watched that previous thing. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Hey, Shinobi, it sounds like you're telling Marvel that with great power comes great responsibility. Like it sounds like that's what you're saying, which I agree with, because the multiverse is a dangerous thing. It kind of means they don't have to have a lot of accountability for some of the things they do.
It's making them lazy, man.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't got to, and that's a dangerous thing. I would say one more thing, and I should have added this. Anybody knows me. I like what both of you guys said. As we build these things, we kind of want to connect. And I'm very big for X-Men and all that stuff, but you need the capital V. Because again, for all of these movies, starting out, we would get a glimpse of Thanos just looking down and just, and just this thread. I mean, you gotta have the big V, a villain. I've said this 1,000 times, the best movies have the best villain. It's not about the heroes, because we know the heroes. The best movies have, and to me, that's where you could take license. You can take license with villains, not with the heroes. They want to take extra license with the heroes and just, you say, Spider-Man's a mutant, all that. Take that license and get creative with the villains. I never understand it. A great villain that you can maybe string across your little multiverse and things like that and let him loom. That was the greatest thing with Thanos, is that you knew at some point he was coming.
Yeah.
And he just was kind of, fine, I'll do it myself. And it's like, oh boy, here we go. So that would be my other thing. Anything else before we go, guys? Anything else you're feeling to address the Phase 4, the fans, the ownership, whoever.
Yes.
Before we go ahead, Johnny.
Kenobi said something that I think I said it on the Doctor Strange one, and it just, if I was the head of Marvel, I would recant my statement about we being 616. Honestly, that was the craziest thing. If I was mad about anything about that movie, that right there, I mean, I was so heated because the reason why it was okay to not show Tom Holland getting bit, or why this is different, or why that's different, all stuff like that, is because why? Because like, shoot, in the comics, Nebula did the snap, not Tony, right? The reason why we were okay with doing that, right? Because the MCU was a variant of Marvel Comics. It was not 616. So for them to boldly claim that, I don't care about Christina. Like, get her out of here. Talking about you guys are 616. No, we're not, ma'am. We are not 616 because we're missing too much to be 616. We have yet and still not seen any Marvel character in the MCU to be endued with the power cosmic. The power cosmic chooses almost every Marvel character, hero, and villain to save the day at some point in time. We have still not seen that. So you can't call us 616. That, I could not handle that. I would recant it. I'd be like, in the next Doctor Strange movie, you know what? We made a mistake. Sorry, guys. You're not 616. You're 617. Anything else, but like not 616. That was a spit in the face.
It hurts you. Seems like that cut you deep. Okay.
No, it did.
All right. Anything else, Shinobi?
My last closing remarks would be, going forward, Marvel, I beg you, use your Twitter argument controversies wisely. I would please use them as fuel to bolster a project and not like dividing a fan base solely. Like, if you're gonna do something like sort of X-Men fans, if you're gonna like announce that Krakoa exists, but you're gonna call it Genosha, like expect that fans are going to be upset. But if you're gonna do it in a way that fuels this project in a positive light, like, I don't know if anyone seen Miss Marvel?
I have
not. Okay. Kind of a spoiler, but
go ahead. I mean, spoiler alerts. Go ahead, you can spoil.
So, spoiler here. It heavily implied that Kamala Khan is the first MCU mutant on screen. For a lot of reasons, that doesn't work. At least from what we know, because she's an Inhuman. She's not in the X-Men canon at all. But they're kind of bankrolling her in, and that's causing a lot of controversy because people like Ms. Marvel, people like the X-Men, but people don't like these two ideas marrying. A lot of Twitter controversy, and I think it's taking away from both potential projects instead of pushing them forward. So I would say, if you're gonna have controversy, let it push your project instead of like dividing your fan base. It's not gonna get a lot done, especially with they're two good projects. I think they're on the way. Ms. Marvel was very good. X-Men we're hoping is gonna be good, but I think it's causing too much negative press for both and not enough pushing forward. But again, I'm ready to be proven wrong. Haven't yet. That's crazy, but yes.
Well, there you have it, guys. That is our state of the MCU Phase 4. They're about halfway through, so we got a lot still in store. So we will see. I find this hilarious that Johnny Q was already disappointed in She-Hulk. That was greatness. He's like already just down on it.
Like it's currently Comic-Con's going on right now, and it's there's probably gonna be there will probably be a trailer for She-Hulk in the next 2 hours, and John's already like.
Well, and what we got to understand too, though, is Marvel. It's like this. The FBI is not trying to stop the hackers with FBI guys. They're stopping the hackers with hackers they've caught. Yeah. So I'm sure the Marvel is not just a bunch of cool guys in leather jackets. They got to have nerds in there. You would think. You hope so. Yeah. Take the best of the best and send them in a room and talk about this. So, you got to trust the process, I guess. I guess we'll see. But guys, stay with us. We've seen it. We got about 2 more weeks, and you'll be seeing a lot of me for sure. I don't know who's going to be with me. It might be myself, but House of the Dragon is coming. And you will have to get my full Game of Thrones recap to lead us into. You got to get a recap to lead you into the prequel. I'm not even ready yet. I'm already making preparation. I'm going through the Game of Thrones right now. I don't know what else these guys are going to be doing, but that is what I will be doing. Any other stuff you guys could do yourselves because House of the Dragon is coming. I'm not even ready yet, but be ready, guys, because we are coming back heavy for that. So stay with us. We've seen it Mighty Sharp Network, of course. Appreciate the support, the love. You can still get a couple. We still have the original batch. I still have a couple $10 joints left. I sold a couple last week. There's Shinobi showing, but I'm telling you now, I know once the batch is gone, somebody's gonna come and be like, "We get the $10 price." And I told y'all, just like Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's. All right, be with us, guys. Appreciate it. Stay sharp.